I love being outside. I love the summertime when the birds are chirping, the seasons have changed, and the heat is upon us. In the summer, sometimes things culturally also heat up. And it was 10 summers ago that the hand of God came upon America in the form of a rude awakening. And I say it was His hand because different things begin to happen that begin to bring exposure to our deep need for Him. Generational trauma exploded in the streets of Missouri, and here in Ferguson, a new age of civil rights discourse was birthed in America, both domestically and globally. What became evident in the years that followed as more and more individuals lost their lives at the hands of police, more communities were impacted, and there was a growing question of Jesus' presence in the midst of the pain. These nuanced and polarizing conversations across cultures posed a question of where is God and what should the church be doing in the midst of this? While some in the faith felt a deep sense of responsibility to engage in the pursuit of justice and to really get involved in the ministry of reconciliation, others experienced a deep lack of responsibility. This is where we begin to step in, particularly in the summer of 2020, which served as an exclamation point for our trouble in the wake of the global pandemic. Throughout these times and amidst these challenges, we sensed a strong invitation from the Holy Spirit to build two things: a place to find His presence, or an altar, and a place to find His people, a table. For 6 years now, we've obeyed this invitation, building altars and tables in cities around the nation and some parts of the world, as God continues to cause the civil righteousness message to run ahead of us. From being featured in the Amazon Prime series Jonathan and Jesus to various podcasts with New York Times best-selling authors, we feel that God desires for the civil righteousness message to run swiftly across the nations of the earth. We're deeply grateful for the opportunity to travel and serve other cities, as well as to make appearances in the media with other organizations and do interviews. But for the last year, we've been working hard to invest all of our chips into the Isaiah 61:4 work of restoring the places that have been long devastated for the renewal of ruined cities. Our focus has been to raise up a center for reconciliation right here in the heart of Ferguson at a former coffee shop. And over the course of the last 5 years, with a small but faithful core of private donors, we've been on an arduous journey renovating this space. In addition to investing over $200,000, teams have come from around the country, both to volunteer and serve with physical labor and to pray over this space. Today, I'm pleased to report that we are finally finished with all major construction. Miraculously, we've gotten this far without ever having received a major grant or ever hosting a major fundraising gala. We would really love to host one this fall, not as an opportunity to ask for more money, but rather to celebrate what God has done in person with all of you who have journeyed with us. We've gotten this far empowered by a faithful few, a small core of faithful donors. However, recently there were some really surprising, incredibly expensive setbacks that we had to make some adjustments to take care of, and there are a few finishing touches remaining that we simply cannot overcome without a final round of divine provision. With that in mind, we do have 3 immediate asks for your consideration. In order to complete the space and gain occupancy, we need to install 2 commercial AC units. And a generous contractor has agreed to do that work for us at an unbelievable price of less than $10,000. We also need to repave our parking lot and recoup the expenses of fixing a crack in the foundation and installing a firewall drainage system on the roof. The Imago Dei Racial Healing Prayer Room has been a powerful tool, an expression of the Father's heart in every community where these rooms have been temporarily erected, from Portland, Oregon, to Michigan, to the south side of Chicago, people have been deeply impacted by these temporary spaces for healing, these altars, if you will, that we've created. Now we're opening the Imago Dei studio here in Ferguson as a permanent immersive healing prayer room expression with rotating gallery exhibits. We're currently looking for at least 4 businesses or churches or individuals who would like to sponsor the grand opening of our first exhibit in this space on August 9th. We're seeking at least one $10,000 title sponsor and 4 supporting sponsors at $2,500 to $5,000 each. Finally, we would love to meet our budget this year. We're currently seeking to raise $195,000, which is about 40% of our annual budget. This will help us to not only get this space open, but to staff it, to furnish it, and to fund our 10-episode podcast series that we plan to record starting in September. Would you consider an immediate one-time gift or monthly contribution over the next 60 days to help us address the current needs, getting our doors open, scale the civil righteousness message through media, podcasting, film, and various other creative forms, and meet our budget for this fiscal year? May God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.